This is a review of a Seiko RAF Gen 1 military watch, and I absolutely love it. Keep watching. So I had this watch for about 6 months, and 1 month after of the last 6 months, I did a watch fast with this watch. So it means I was wearing this watch non-stop for 1 month. So I think I know it very well, so I can do a good review, and I can give a good feedback of this watch. So first of all, let's talk about history, because this is a military issued watch. So this watch was issued to British pilots, only pilots. So you had to be in British military, but you had to be a pilot to be issued this watch from 1984 until 1990. I'm not sure, maybe 91. So from 84 until 1990. And the only way, obviously, you could get this watch, like they were not sold to civilians, so you were able to get it by being actually a British military pilot. So during that time, a little less than 11,000 of these watches were made, so that kind of made it limited, kind of like a limited limited edition, right? So all the watches that you're buying, they are issued watches from that time. So let's talk about dimensions. Right, so the diameter without crown is 37 millimeters. Lug to lug is 44, and lug width is 20 millimeters. So it kind of like I love watches around like 36, 37 millimeters, even like 34. It's not a very big watch being a chronograph. It's not a bulky watch being a chronograph, but it's really cool, well proportioned watch. What's important is that the thickness of the watch is only 9.5 millimeters, not like other chronographs that you know. So this works very well with all kinds of NATOs, pass-through straps, because if you have one or even two layers of fabric under your watch, it's not gonna stick out. It's not gonna be top heavy, because the watch itself is pretty thin. So it's pretty cool. So the movement inside is this famous Seiko 7a28 movement. So this is one of the Seiko, one of the first that Seiko has. So it was first quartz chronograph in the world. To be precise, first quartz analog chronograph, because there were the digital chronographs before, but this was very first analog chronograph, and it was made by Seiko. This at that times, so Seiko, like, this is like super over engineered movement. So this is not like a modern quartz cheap quartz movements that you know. So this is so first of all, it was expensive to produce. All parts of the movement, so this is fully serviceable movement. All parts are metal parts. Yeah, so Seiko put a lot of effort to produce this movement, and the idea was to produce a better movement than mechanical chronograph movements, because before this movement, if you want chronograph, you had to either go digital, or if you want a proper watch, that you would have to buy a mechanical movement. Now these movements, so they're easy to service, and another thing, easy and cheap to service. This is important. Another thing, so Seiko made not just this military watch, they made a lot of civilian watches, very different, very cool actually looking. Take a look at them. Civilian watches with 7a28, and there are a lot of them on the market right now. You can even buy like fully working 7a28 watch, like if it doesn't look like those that don't look that cool, even like for like $60 or like $100. So you basically can buy a donor for like nothing, right? And there are parts available for this movement. There are you can buy crystal, you can buy gas. So if you need gaskets for Gen 1, then Vintage Times Australia sells gaskets for this watch. They are producing aftermarket gaskets for this one. Crystals are available, parts are available. By the way, this is mineral crystal, which is great. It's not your vintage plastic crystal. This crystal can handle a lot. Another important thing about this movement that it can be regulated. They're already pretty accurate out of factory, but you can also regulate them. So mine was slightly a little bit too fast, so I regulated it. So now it runs plus 40, a little bit more than 40 seconds a year. Not a day, not a month, a year. It's pretty amazing. So comparing to your average mechanical chronograph, you're not gonna be servicing this movement a lot. You're not gonna spend a lot of money on servicing this movement, because it's not like mechanical chronograph you need to service every like 5 or like 10 years. This one will run you like if the water doesn't get in, or if your battery does not leak, this movement will actually work forever. So Spencer Klein made a video actually about this movement. So he says he never ever saw in that like any parts to be actually worn out. So he sees on only two issues. So either you got water in, right, so pressure test your Gen 1, make sure your gaskets are new so water doesn't get in. And another one, if your battery dies, just take it out immediately, right, because it can leak, and again, if battery leaks, it can either damage or kill this movement. But except these two issues, this is like this movement like runs forever. Very cool movement. Okay, so another thing about important thing about this watch, and what I found during my watch fast, is this is like super versatile watch. So it fits any outfit, whatever you're wearing. It actually works great, right? All these NATOs work great with like casual clothes, and they look together good, right? Also. I have a Bund strap, so I tried to use it with a Bund strap. Looks great on Bund. Looks great. Also there is a way. So this has solid bars, so you cannot remove the spring bars. Put normal leather strap. But there is a way Hirsch makes a strap, and I made a video how you can modify that strap to actually make it. So Hirsch makes straps for military watches. But those are like, you can't remove them. Once you put it in, you can't remove them. But I made a video how to put a rivet so you can make them removable. So if you're into that, take a look at my video. But basically, I had a bunch of straps. Super versatile watch, works with anything. I really liked it. The only thing what this watch is not versatile is if you dress very formally, like tuxedo or like suit, then it kind of looks a little bit out of place, unless you want to look like James Bond. It's really gonna be fine. But if you don't want to look like James Bond, you probably this might not be a good match. But anything else, this works great. If you consider buying this watch, check few things. So check a case back, make sure that it looks kind of like you see it on the picture right now. Make sure that the case is correct, it has this like military coating, but the most important, make sure that these like solid bars, they are factory made solid bars, not like somebody just glued, not glued, but soldered something like a hack job. But probably the most attention you should pay to the dial, that dial is not a redial or like it's in good condition. So I look at this part of the dial. This is like if somebody would redial it, he will never ever get this right. So A's in the word Japan should have flat tops, not pointy tops, but flat tops. And number 8, last number 8 should be like in original Gen 1s. It's slightly kind of higher. Looks a little bit out of place. So that's what you see right now in the picture. That's actually correct. Yeah, in terms of prices, so these watches started maybe like 10 years ago. They started maybe with 300 British pounds. So like most of them in UK, so that's why prices in British pounds. And from these 300 British pounds, they were growing up until the top was about 1,000 British pounds. And after that, for some reason, the price went down a little bit. So I bought it about 6 months ago for 750 British pounds. And I think it was about market price, so I didn't overpay, I didn't pay less, so I paid the fair value. But now with coronavirus and stuff, I don't know what are the prices, but check my guide how to find out price of vintage watch, so you can find what's the price today. Yeah, I highly recommend this watch. Get it. Super cool watch. You will enjoy it. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like vintage watches, press somewhere here on my face and check out my channel, and also consider subscribing. I'm making a lot of videos about vintage watches. Okay, thank you. Bye.